Honorable William Ruto, the Deputy President, as acting President while I attend the status conference at The Hague in the Netherlands.
Naturally, there are some national issues that are up for discussion.
Hello, I'm Anita Ndero and welcome to Capital Online TV, and these are the stories making headlines. Deputy President William Ruto is Kenya's acting president after Uhuru Kenyatta signed a legal notice appointing him to hold brief as he heads to The Hague to attend a status conference of his ICC case. He made the announcement in Parliament this afternoon before he headed to Harambee House, where he signed the notice and passed on the instruments of power, including his official motorcade. Sources say he is set to travel to The Hague tomorrow morning in time for the status conference scheduled for Wednesday. In a rare show, Kenyatta left Harambee House in a civilian vehicle, leaving Ruto behind with the official presidential escort vehicles. In his address in Parliament, the head of state took time to explain to MPs how he has cooperated with the ICC since the time he was named as a suspect in the post-election violence.
I have cooperated with the prosecutor to assist in establishing the truth at all material times. Unfortunately, unfounded and unproven accusations are still the order of the day.
He, however, said he remains surprised by the insistence by ICC prosecutor Fatou Bensouda that the case must proceed, despite stating that she does not have sufficient evidence to try him.
I have cooperated with the prosecutor to assist in establishing the truth at all material times. Unfortunately, unfounded and unproven accusations are still the order of the day. My accusers, both domestic and foreign, have painted a nefarious image of most African leaders as embodiments of corruption and impunity.
The president arrived at Parliament building at 3:30 p.m., inspecting a guard of honor mounted by the military before he headed into the House. He earlier chaired a special cabinet meeting at State House after holding a meeting with the National Security Council members, where he is understood to have briefed them on his decision. Soon after appointing his deputy Ruto as acting president, Uhuru Kenyatta left Harambee House as a private citizen, leaving most of his security and motorcade behind. His aide-de-camp also did not ride in his vehicle as would be expected. Notably, the presidential security detail was left to wait for the acting President Ruto, who is now in charge of the country. Members of public who had lined the streets near Parliament and Harambee House were in shock when he opened the rear window of the vehicle, carrying him to wave at them. Journalists also found it much easier operating around Kenyatta this time around, as they easily took videos and photographs. Kenyatta left 30 minutes before the acting President Ruto came to be received by a group of legislators, among them Rongo MP Dalmas Otieno and Funyula constituency members of Parliament Paul Otuoma. Ruto, on his part, left with a full presidential motorcade, but the limousine was minus the presidential standard. His motorcade snaked out of the Harambee House with the full trappings of a sitting head of state. And finally, the United Democratic Forum Party has resolved to continue with plans to hold its National Delegates Conference on October 24th. UDF Deputy Party Leader Jeremiah Kioni says the meeting will be a platform to rebrand the party and give it a new name and new leadership.
Whether you lose or win an election, it is always incumbent upon the party to do an in-house to reblood, because you never run on the same slate after 5 years. So what we are going through is reblooding. Reblooding includes checking whether you have been useful to the party. If you have not been useful to the party and the party requests you to move, we also don't expect you to just run away quickly. We expect you to make some bit of noise.
This follows a decision arrived at after a meeting of elected and nominated members who met with the National Executive Council to try and seal the divisions within the party after Hassan Osman was ousted as national chairman.
We are proposing to have our national Governing Council and National Delegates Congress or Conference towards the end of this month. We wanted to also share with them and also have an opportunity for issues that may be critical to be raised, so that at that time we can have an opportunity to discuss them as we think through at that particular moment in time.
That's all we had for you today. For the latest on these and other stories, log on to www.capitalfm.co.ke/TV. I'm Anita Nderu.